Hello and welcome to my channel Crafting with me, Indiana Jones, and welcome to Merry Christmas and Holiday Fun Festive Decor collaboration with Dawn of Shabby Meets Bling and Monica of Up All Night DIY, two of my very special precious friends who have come together to share some holiday decor inspiration. Now, my inspiration comes from a special project that I'm a part of, decorating a 100-year-old estate called the Deering Estate. Our theme this year is the golden age of travel, and since I have the Scholars Room, I wanted to create a room dedicated to cartographers and horologists. Cartographers are of course map makers, and horologists are watchmakers or clockmakers. So these are just a few images that I have to inspire my decor this year in the Scholars Room. As you can see, there is going to be a steampunk aesthetic as well. Jimmy's Bright Ideas is also going to help with the decor and the furnishings in this room. Now, let's start with this handsome fellow, which was given to me by my friend Giselle. She had this in her decor and didn't know what else to do with it, so she gave it to me because she knew I would come up with something interesting to do. So the only problem is that this Santa Claus had a lot of old yellowing glue, as you can see right there, just all over his face and different places, and it had melted even into some parts of his beard. So I'm gonna have to be cleaning up this Santa Claus and that old yucky old yellow glue. Not only that, but the top of his hat had a rip in it. So here I'm just using a little bit of hot glue just to mend that up real quick. I know I could have sewn it, but you know, when you're in a rush and you have a glue gun in your hand, just get it done. Now, he was completely bald. I did add a little bit of his beard to his hairline just to make him a little handsomer. This mustache also was very yellowy, so again, I took off the old yellow glue, and now I'm going to glue on a nice little mustache to his little face right there. He's so cute. He's so handsome. And I am going to steampunk up this Santa Claus. Remember, there are not a lot of references to steampunk Christmases, so I just have to come up with my own ideas. Here I was trying to figure out if I can make some lenses for him, but I decided not to go that route. And though I did clean up his hood quite a bit, I found this little hat. Now, my friend Giselle also had it was a mask that had this hat along with it for a steampunk decor, for a steampunk costume. But again, it looked pretty, it needed some help. Let's just put it that way. I appreciate it, but it needed some help. This is a felt hat, and I thought this would perfectly fit my Santa Claus and really make him look steampunk. Now, as you can see, I am taking off that steampunk watch, but it's just because I had something else in mind for this hat. So after I clean it up, now I'm going to start decorating it in my style. So just to show you how I received this, it was glued onto this mask, which I love the mask. I'm not going to change anything about the mask, but I just thought this was the perfect hat for that Santa Claus. I thought it would make him a bit dapper. I mean, Santa's always dapper and charming, but I thought this would just help a little bit more, and especially to get him into that aesthetic of steampunk. Here I'm adding this beautiful moss colored ribbon, velvet ribbon, which I think is perfect. It's not red, as you might think. Oh, maybe it should have been red to match his suit, but I like the green. It's adding a little bit of that, you know, forest and at Christmas time vibe. So that's what I wanted to share here today with this. Now I'm just adding a few embellishments to really top it off, not to turn a pun there, but yes, to top it off, and just add these cute little pine cones and really put this hat all together. And of course, let's add some gears to give it a little bit of that steampunk feel. And I really like steampunk. It's been a long time since I've done anything related to steampunk, but this is going to be so much fun. Now, I had never considered creating a steampunk Christmas tree before, and I wondered if there were any references out there, and I was very pleasantly surprised that not only did I find some imagination and inspiration posts on Instagram, I actually found some products, some Christmas steampunk products in Temu. So I was very happy to find that. But don't you think this hat looks so much better like this with just a few gears? And I might put something on top of the hat just to, cover up that space. Now, I had this watch. It's an old watch. It doesn't work, and doesn't even have the crystal on the outside. But I just thought it was perfect to add to his beautiful red cloak. This is going to be a nice impression on that. So all I'm doing here is adding the watch and a few other knickknacks to a chain that I'm going to attach to his belt and his jacket. I think it looks so nice. I'm sorry, I said her. I'm usually so used to creating like doll dresses and stuff. It takes me a little while to remember this is Santa Claus. So now I have his chain affixed, adding some keys and some gears, and I think it just looks adorable. As you can imagine, there aren't many steampunk Christmas ornaments on the shelves at Hobby Lobby, so I have to make many of them myself. I found all of these beautiful vintage clock faces through the Graphics Fairy, and using this black flattened, it's not completely flat, but flattened ornament, I think this will make a wonderful watch. It'll look just like a very exclusive, expensive pocket watch hanging from the Christmas tree. I absolutely love this idea. So all I'm doing here is adding some Mod Podge to the paper and then affixing it correctly to the ornaments, as you can see here. Now, I buy a lot of the clear ornaments for this specific case because nobody ever seems to want to buy them. They're always in the stores, whether it's Goodwill or if it's Hobby Lobby or what have you. So it's very important that you can try to make your own ornaments. And I'm so lucky that I can find them usually at the end and for clearance at around 90% off. It's very inexpensive. Now, I'm using these gold transfers from IOD, and they are fantastic. I love them so much. If you are interested in purchasing any IOD products, please visit Ellen J. Goods. She's a fantastic friend of mine and wonderful crafter who goes live at least 2 to 3 times a week. She's amazing. But check her out if you need. Now, for this beautiful gold transfer, all I'm doing is I added the gold around that clock, and now I'm trying to place the gold or transfer the gold onto the watch. Now, if you're not comfortable with this or you don't have this material, don't worry about it. Just have some glue, have some paint of that color, and that way you can actually create your own borders if you needed to. So even though you might not be creating a steampunk themed Christmas, all of these techniques and everything that I used here, you can use to really customize your own Christmas decor. Now here I'm using a very glossy glaze, and I believe this is from Mod Podge. They have a high gloss Mod Podge, and this will make it look like glass. The glass part on top of a clock or a watch. So it's always nice to add that. Next, as I continue making my ornaments, I am going to use these amazing molds that I actually found on Amazon. The large compass and the gears, that's from Amazon. And the clock face that you see over there, that was one I already had in my stash. I don't know where I got it from. I'm showing you this because I made a complete mess. I was a disaster with resin molds this week. I don't know why, but I got through it. I made my molds, and I even found these beautiful snowflake molds that I'm going to use in a very different way for ornaments. So right away, I'm using that snowflake mold and I am putting it into one of those holders for these glass. Some of them were glass these glass ornaments, and that's going to help me shape that snowflake. Now, as you can see here, I made a batch of the clocks. That one came out really thin. I don't know why. I think it was a mistake of mine, of course. And so I have 3 clocks or 3 watches and 2 compasses. So here what I'm doing is painting them all black, and you're wondering, why on earth am I painting them black? Well, when you're going to do something with gold, it's always best to have a darker color underneath. I've seen black being used, I've seen red used, and I do want to try it with like a dark green or a dark blue underneath and see how that works. Because if you just put the gold paint or gold rub and buff on top of white, it just doesn't look aged or vintagey. So as those dry, now I'm going to start creating another ornament. And believe it or not, these are papers that I found on Temu. They had Steampunk Christmas. Yes, Steampunk Christmas papers. So Steampunk is your thing. There are specific scrapbook papers that you can use. So I'm using these to create some square ornaments. And here I'm just roughing up the edges. So here's one of those square ornaments that I had in my stash. Again, I buy these clear ornaments at the end of the season after Christmas. No one seems to care about these. And yet I think these are the most versatile ornaments that you could buy, because you can really change it up for whatever it is you want, because your idea or your aesthetic each year might change, but you can customize them as you need. Now, we are having a cat interruption here. Excuse us. There we go. As she settles into one of her cat containment units. But yes, that's Luna. She definitely had to come in and be part of the show. So here all I am doing is embellishing this all this paper. I really wanted to embellish the outside of it. Now, inside, what I did was I used Mop and Glow, and I glittered the inside of that ornament. I'll show you that in another segment where I'm creating another ornament. I also tried to glaze the holder of the ornament so it matches more with the color of the ornament itself. Now here I'm making a clock or a watch, and all I'm doing is using some bronze paint, and I'm kind of dry brushing just so you can see all the beautiful elements of the clock itself. So the numbers, the hands, everything. And as I said before, because I had the black underneath, you can already see it makes it pop out even more. Now here's an ornament. This one is glass, and this one I did take the time to paint in that copper color just before I'm about to add this clock face or watch face to the front of it. And if you haven't noticed the aesthetic for Steampunk, I'm using just a lot of metal colors. So I'm using bronzes and golds and antique golds and a little bit of silver, not too much. I want to keep the colors all warm. And I am trying to figure out what my accent color is. I don't know if it's going to be red or perhaps like a deep green. I thought that would be very nice too. It's a little more masculine than I usually do, but I look forward to the challenge of creating this beautiful room. Now here I'm just glittering that clock just to give it a little more sparkle and shine. With my laser cutter, I created this very delicate filigree frame, and I didn't know exactly how to use it. And then I remembered I had these square ornaments, which it fits just perfectly. Now to find the right image, and I fell in love with that Santa Claus. But then I realized that Santa Claus was also on a separate sheet, so I didn't have to destroy the whole sheet that I had there before. So that's what it's going to look like. And now what I'm going to do is take the Santa Claus, and instead of just gluing it onto that background, I'm using dimensional tape so that it looks a little elevated. Now to work on the little frame, all I'm going to do is paint it that copper color, and I am also going to add a little bit of glitz and glamour with just a little bit of glitter. Now, because I'm going to be working in a museum, because it is like a museum, it's a 100-year-old estate that's owned by the county, and I cannot really use an abundance of glitter. So wherever I can, where it's controlled glitter, that it's not going to be falling all over, because I am going to seal this this little frame afterwards so the glitter doesn't fall out. I try to incorporate glitter in any way I can. That's another reason I love these clear ornaments, because I can glitter the inside of the ornaments without having any damage done to the house or having any glitter fallout. So if you like the look of glitter but not the feeling of having glitter all over your house, this is a great way to do it. Now, a little gift shop right around the corner from where I work was closing, and she actually gave me these little containers. I think these were containers for rosaries, I'm not sure, but they come in purple and hot pink, so nobody bought them. So what did I do? Well, I painted them gold, and I just thought the tops were such a beautiful design. But the other thing I thought of is that they looked a little bit like pocket watches. So here I'm creating a very elegant little pocket watch, and I love this watch face that I found. I think this was once again from the Graphics Fairy. But I just thought it was so pretty, so delicate with those little flowers. So I wanted to play off the color of pink to, focus on the color of the roses in this watch face, in this clock face. Now, I know pink isn't part of the real aesthetic, but because the metal of the gold watch kind of offsets it, it's not completely pink, but it does add a dimension of sparkle, of course. Now, I'm using UV resin this time to create the glass that's going to cover that clock or watch. And I really love this effect, because as you can see, it does give it a glossy effect, more so than just the Mod Podge. Even the super gloss Mod Podge can't keep up with UV resin and how much it does look like glass. And I love the way it turned out. Now, she also gave me a whole bunch of colorful tassels, and look at this. What a coincidence. Is this meant to be or what? I happen to have the large pearl, and I have several of them. I think these are from the Dollar Tree. So these are absolutely perfect, and I just thread through the tassel through the pearl with just using a little bit of wire, and it looks fantastic. I love it. Now, I'm only showing you one of each ornament that I'm making here today, but of course I'm going to go back and make many more. Now, here's the snowflake that I was waiting to shape into the shape that I put it into that ball container or holder. And so here all I'm going to do is, first of all, I'm going to glitter the inside. So now you can see what I do is I first put in some, and I forgot to show you this step. First put in some Mop and Glow, coat the inside and discard the leftover, or just put it in a cup, and then just put your glitter in. Here I'm combining gold with champagne gold just to give it a little more dimension and a little more interest. And now that snowflake, I shaped it so that I could put it on top of the ornament, just at the center. So what I did was I clipped out the center of that snowflake, and look at this. It just looks like very elegant, metal filigree or something. It just looks so pretty. And of course, with the metallic color that will coordinate with the ornament itself. So what I did here now is I'm adding a little bit of the verdigris, like that, I don't know, that mossy color or that rusty color, I should say. And I think it just looks so pretty with the copper. I absolutely love this. And because I want this to stick onto the ornament right away, I am using just a little bit of hot glue right at the very top and adding that to the ornament. And I think that looks pretty just as it is. It stands out, and I think it's very impressive looking. I love that topper to this ornament. Now here's another compass ornament that I'm going to make, and here I'm going to mix the green with a little bit of black glitter, believe it or not, to match the the aesthetic of the actual compass itself. And I actually love the combination of these two colors together. Really makes a very cool effect. Now here I am showing you once again, I already had filled it in with the Mop and Glow, and I do that off screen because I try not to get the Mop and Glow all over my desk, so I try to do it over a waste basket. But here I'm just putting in the glitter, making sure that the remainder of the glitter that doesn't glue onto the edges is discarded. Now I'm warming up the mold that I made. So this is resin, and you can warm it up so you can shape it accordingly. And what I'm trying to do is shape it onto that rounded domed ornament. And again, this is another style that I really like because it is a little flatter, so it's easier to work with. Now here, the last thing, I'm going to add a few little, I guess, crystals. I don't know what else to call you. Gems. I guess gems, rhinestones, little colored rhinestones. So I actually bought this whole set of little colored rhinestones at a garage sale for like $1. I'm not kidding you. And I was so thrilled because I knew that I could work on this and add a little bit of sparkle here and there on my crafts with those gems. And there you have it again. Here is the collection so far, and I am so very happy with it. I hope you like what I've done today as well. I want to thank my dear friends Dawn of Shabby Meets Bling and Monica of Up All Night DIY for hosting this collaboration. Please visit their channels, as well as all of the channels that have participated in this playlist today. I want to thank you for stopping by, and if you enjoyed this, please remember to like, share, and subscribe. And as always, stay safe, be kind, God bless each and every one of you, and remember to live the adventure, and I'll see you again very, very soon.